You grew up hearing that all it took was hard work, saving every penny and drinking reheated coffee at home to maybe, just maybe, retire one day without having to split a rotisserie chicken into 12 payments. But then you look at the women in the top 1%, always impeccable, flying in private jets, investing fearlessly, running companies, or spending the fortune of a very well-chosen husband, and you realize something doesn't add up. Today, we're going to fix that equation and unlock the habits of truly wealthy women. Because around here, we don't do poverty. Before anyone starts with the whole, "Oh, but I wake up at 5 a.m. and drink detox tea" talk, let me tell you a secret. Top 1% women don't do that. They live by a completely different set of rules. And no, it has nothing to do with writing gratitude in 37 notebooks or drinking lemon water at the exact right temperature under a full moon. Want an example? Kim Kardashian. People laughed when she said, "Get your fucking ass up and work." But the truth is, she does work. Strategically. Lawyer, entrepreneur, mother, reality star, and, of course, heiress to an empire. But being an heiress has never stopped anyone from blowing money and ending up broke. So if she multiplied her fortune instead of losing it, there's a method to it. Another one? Beyoncé. She doesn't just sing, she's a conglomerate. She had a halftime show at the NFL and turned it into a marketing campaign to sell an entire Adidas collection. In other words, while you're figuring out how to split the check at a restaurant, rich women are making money work for them. And before anyone says, "Oh, but I'm just an ordinary woman," sweetheart, no top 1% woman started out in the top 1%, unless she was born an heiress, which clearly isn't your case. But what sets these women apart from the rest is that they adopt habits that multiply their money, status, and opportunities. And I'm about to tell you what those habits are. But first, a public service announcement. Subscribe to the channel because I can't let you keep believing that skipping Starbucks will make you rich. Like the video, turn on notifications, and check the first pinned comment for links to products that only rich people use. Now, grab a champagne glass or alkaline water if you're still in the early stages of wealth, because we're about to decode the habits of the top 1%. Habit number 1, the secret of rich women, the weekly meeting that changes everything. Have you ever noticed that rich women never seem to be chasing after things? They're not frantically trying to fit everything into their day or putting out fires all week long. You know why? Because they don't live in chaos, darling. Chaos is for people splitting rent 3 ways and unsure if they can afford their car insurance this month. The top 1% play a completely different game. Studies show that people who write down their goals and track their progress are 42% more likely to achieve them. So, logically, the path to wealth must be writing everything down and following it to the letter, right? But if it were that simple, your planner filled with motivational stickers would have already made you a millionaire. The problem isn't the goal itself, it's that most people set objectives like they make New Year's resolutions, with the best intentions but no real execution plan. And what happens? The same thing that happens when you decide to eat healthy and by day 3 find yourself devouring a buttery croissant because just one won't make a difference. Rich women don't fall into this trap. They don't make vague promises. They hold strategic meetings with themselves every week. And no, it's not that existential Sunday night spiral between an episode of Real Housewives and an anxiety attack. It's a real commitment. A CEO doesn't run an empire without regular progress reviews, and a rich woman is the CEO of her own life. But don't think this meeting is some insane self-punishment session, like those absurd lists of wake up at 5 a.m., do 27 minutes of transcendental meditation, drink herbal tea harvested under moonlight, and read 50 pages before breakfast. None of that. That's for people with too much time and too little money. Rich women do things differently. They set small, achievable goals that add up to a bigger objective. Beyoncé didn't become an empire overnight. But in every meeting with her team, she decides her next strategic move. At the Super Bowl, she didn't just shine on stage. She launched a clothing line and turned a 13-minute show into a marketing masterstroke. They constantly adjust their course. It's not just about setting goals and forgetting them. If something isn't working, they change the strategy. Do you think Kim Kardashian would have kept trying to be an actress if she hadn't realized the real money was in building a brand? No, darling. She reassessed her goals and built a billion-dollar empire instead of chasing an Oscar. They protect their time like they protect their skin from the sun. You know what rich women never do? See how it goes. They don't leave their schedule open for other people's emergencies. If it's on the calendar, it's set. If it's not, too bad. What should you do? Schedule a meeting with yourself every week and take yourself seriously. If the Kardashians can run an empire while getting 28 beauty treatments a week, you can carve out an hour on Sunday to decide how you're going to multiply your fortune. And before anyone says, "Oh, but I'm a busy woman," darling, everyone is busy. Not everyone is rich. Habit number 2, the power of money. Because love doesn't pay the bills or buy a Birkin, money may not buy happiness, but it does buy freedom, power, and a closet worthy of a Sex and the City season finale. And that, my dear, is the real definition of happiness. You might think the key to wealth is saving every penny and giving up your daily latte, but if skipping Starbucks was enough, your neighborhood barista would be on the Forbes list. A 2024 study by Fidelity Investments revealed that 71% of women now own stock market investments, an 18% increase from the previous year. So if more women are learning to play the money game, it means we're on the right track. But that's still not enough. The truth is, historically, women have been taught to have a defensive relationship with money. Save, be cautious, spend wisely. Sounds like a script straight out of a worried grandma. Meanwhile, men were trained to make money grow, take risks, invest, multiply. In other words, while you're proud of scoring a 10% off coupon, some guy is doubling his wealth with a single market move. Top 1% women don't play around with money. They control it. They invest, multiply, and aren't afraid to talk about it. Do you think Rihanna became a billionaire by saving on brunch? No, darling. She built an empire. Beyoncé isn't counting pennies. She's a walking corporation. And Queen Elizabeth, may she rest in peace, didn't stay in power for 70 years by budgeting her way through life. So let's fix the problem. The solution isn't hoarding every cent, hoping a savings account will make you rich. The solution is putting that money to work. A study by Warwick Business School found that, on average, women are better investors than men because they take a more strategic and long-term approach. So we already have the natural advantage. We just need to use it. From now on, money is not a taboo. If you can talk about the latest reality show, you can talk about investments. Stop thinking money conversations are rude. What's rude is not having it. Be a woman of assets, not just expensive handbags. Invest in the stock market, in real estate, in your own business, and yes, in Chanel bags, because they appreciate better than gold. The goal isn't just luxury. It's having the option to say no to anything that doesn't serve you. Want to quit a toxic job? Need to leave a bad relationship? Money gives you that freedom. Don't just watch the Kardashians. Learn from them. They're not rich because they sat around waiting for Prince Charming. They created wealth. And if you still think money isn't that important, try paying for dinner with gratitude. Let me know if the waiter accepts it. Habit number 3, confidence capital. Because the first person who needs to believe in you is you. You know how when you make brunch plans with friends, you show up on time because nobody wants to be the one who's late? Now tell me, why do you keep your promises to them but break the ones you make to yourself? Like when you swear you'll wake up at 6 a.m. to meditate, hit the gym, or start that $1 million project? Interesting, isn't it? A Journal of Behavioral Medicine study followed 500 people for 18 months and found that those who stuck to small daily commitments, like walking for 10 minutes, were 4% more likely to achieve their bigger goals than those who tried to change everything at once. In other words, self-trust doesn't come from grand moments of inspiration. It comes from keeping the small promises. But most people treat their own commitments as disposable, which explains why they stay stuck in the same life. Rich women, however, don't play around with their word. And when I say rich women, I'm not talking about trust fund babies. Because, honey, that requires zero effort. I'm talking about self-made women. They know that keeping commitments to themselves is the foundation for building wealth and power. Want an example? Oprah. When she started her career, she wasn't the billionaire media mogul who can call up any powerful person on the planet. But she believed in herself before the world believed in her. Every step she took, every commitment she honored was proof that she could count on herself to move forward. And today? Today, she could buy an island just to prove a point. If you can't trust yourself to follow through on small goals, how will you trust yourself to make $1 million decisions? Confidence doesn't come out of nowhere. It's built, like wealth. From now on, stop treating yourself like a plan B. If you say you'll do something, do it. If you respect your hairdresser's schedule more than the commitments you make to yourself, we have a problem. Start small, but don't stop. You don't need to promise you'll be a CEO by next month, but you can promise to spend 30 minutes a day learning something new. You don't become rich overnight, but every small win builds the mindset needed to get there. Understand that motivation is an illusion. Rich women don't wait to feel like it before doing what needs to be done. They just do it. If Kim Kardashian had waited for inspiration to build an empire, she'd still be organizing closets. Tonight, when you tell yourself you'll go to bed early, read a book, or plan your week, follow through. Because every broken promise isn't just a delay in your routine. It's proof that you don't take your words seriously. And tell me, if you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? Habit number 4, the no reset. Because your piece is not for sale, but your handbag can be Hermes. Since we were little, we've been trained to be agreeable, smiling when we don't want to, accepting invitations we despise, pretending to be excited about meetings that could have been an email. This happens because we were taught that polite and reserved women are better perceived. So, it seems like a sensible strategy for living in society, right? But this need to please comes at a cost, deducted directly from your mental health, your time, and, believe it or not, your bank account. Women who constantly suppress their emotions have a higher risk of developing autoimmune diseases, such as lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. So every time you agree to something you don't want, bite your tongue to avoid upsetting someone or pretend everything is fine when it's not. Your immune system is basically sending you a message in bold capital letters. Stop this now. But most people ignore this warning because they think saying no is rude. Rich women, however, don't have this problem. They have mastered the art of saying no with elegance and surgical precision. Have you ever seen a multimillionaire CEO exhausted because she agreed to do a favor she didn't want to? Or a Beverly Hills socialite sacrificing herself to please an acquaintance who never reciprocates? No, because they understood early on that time and energy are more valuable than money. Want an example? Anna Wintour. She doesn't need to yell or give long explanations. When she doesn't like something, a single look is already a categorical no. Or take the ultimate master of financial self-control, Warren Buffett, who says, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Let's fix this. Practice saying no without guilt. You don't need an elaborate excuse to turn something down. "That doesn't work for me" is a complete response. Remember that no is a selection tool. Every yes you give to something, irrelevant is a no to something important. Turn no into a luxury strategy. Successful people say no to anything. That doesn't add value. You don't see the Kardashians promoting just any product for money. They only say yes to opportunities that strengthen their brand. The next time someone tries to convince you to accept something you don't want, ask yourself, if I were a billionaire, would I agree to this? If the answer is no, then you already know what to do. Say no and move on, preferably toward a richer life. Habit number 5, the resilience code. Because failure doesn't define you, but your handbag can be Hermes. Failure. The word nobody wants to hear, but everyone has experienced. You fail, feel ashamed, consider dropping everything and starting a new life on another continent. It seems like the end of the world, but if failure were really the end, there wouldn't be a second season of anything on Netflix. For years, I thought any failure was proof that something simply wasn't for me. If I skipped a gym day, I assumed I'd never be fit. But if Kim Kardashian had thought that way when her first attempt at being a singer flopped, she wouldn't be a billionaire today. She'd be dropping album after album like a certain ex-husband of hers. Resilience isn't a divine gift. It's built. So it's useless to say that some people are born stronger than others. But most people still believe that failure is a sign of incompetence, rather than understanding it as just a data point for course correction. Rich women don't avoid failures. They turn them into stepping stones. Did Beyoncé hit a wrong note at Coachella? She turned it into an award-winning documentary. Was J.K. Rowling rejected by 12 publishers? Today, she could buy all of them if she wanted to. The game isn't about never making mistakes. It's about making mistakes, learning, and coming back stronger. Let's fix this. Treat failure like a consultant, not a judge. If something didn't work out, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? If an investment didn't pay off, analyze it and adjust your strategy. Failure is only the end if you stop. Rich women don't have time for prolonged self-pity. A setback today can be the springboard for an empire tomorrow. Success comes from getting up more times than you fall, do you think? Anna Wintour never made a bad decision at Vogue. The difference is that she didn't dwell on it. The next time something doesn't go as planned, grab your best luxury handbag, adjust your invisible crown, and try again. Because while others are mourning their mistakes, you'll be refining your strategy to become even richer. Habit number 6, time control. Because if you don't control your schedule, you're just working for others. Time is money. But interestingly, the people who say this the most are the ones who are always out of time and money. And that's because everyone wants to control everything. The opinions of others, gas prices, whether Leonardo DiCaprio will finally date someone over 25, except for the one thing that actually matters, their own time. Most people complain that they have no time for anything. So it seems like they must be insanely busy and highly productive, right? But if they were using that time to build wealth, they'd already have homes in Beverly Hills and a jet ready for Aspen in the winter. The truth is, it's not a lack of time. It's a lack of time management. Wealthy women understand that time isn't just a resource. It's an asset that must be managed with the same precision as an investment portfolio. If you control your time, you control your life. If you don't, well, you're just watching your life happen while scrolling through Instagram. Want an example? Jeff Bezos. Yes, he may be a billionaire eccentric, but he gets time. When he founded Amazon, he created the 2-pizza rule. If a meeting requires more people than 2 pizzas can feed, it's unnecessary. And honestly, most meetings could have been an email or nothing at all. Let's fix this. Prioritize or someone will do it for you. If you don't decide where to spend your time, someone else will, whether it's a boss, a boyfriend, or the social media algorithm. Time is like money. It needs to be invested, not just spent. If you go through hours without knowing where they went, congratulations. You're throwing away your time just like most people throw away their paychecks. The secret isn't waking up at 5 a.m., it's knowing what to do when you wake up. Rich women don't wake up early to suffer. They wake up early to win. The next time you say, I don't have time, ask yourself, do I really not have time? Or am I handing it out like a free giveaway? Because if you don't learn to manage your time, you'll end up managing someone else's dreams, probably your boss's. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather be managing my own fortune. Habit Thakur 7. Social currency. Because being in the right room is worth more than hard work. Ever notice how some people seem to succeed effortlessly? They land the best jobs, get invited to the right events, close million-dollar deals without even trying. And you sit there wondering, what do they have that I don't? For years, we were told that the key to success was hard work. So if you woke up early, gave it your all, and stayed dedicated, everything would fall into place. But then you see the boss's niece getting promoted, an influencer landing $1 million contract without half your talent, or a CEO hiring a friend of a friend for the job you've been dreaming of. Suddenly, it all makes sense. Hard work alone isn't enough. Being surrounded by the right people is. Only 16% of new opportunities come from close connections like friends and family. The other 84% come from weak ties, casual acquaintances. That means a random conversation at a cocktail party could be worth more than years of silent dedication at your job. But most people still believe networking is just a side detail when, in reality, it's the access code to wealth. Rich women don't do networking, they live inside it. They know that being in the right room with the right people is worth more than any degree. Do you think Anna Wintour went through an interview process to become Vogue's editor-in-chief? Or that the Kardashian family had to submit resumes to E-Network? Opportunities don't appear by chance. They're created within the right circles. Let's fix this. Get out of your bubble. If you only interact with the same people, you're limiting your chances. The best opportunities come from where you least expect them. Networking isn't sucking up. It's power building. You don't need to be best friends with everyone, but you do need to show up in the right spaces. Learn to move in strategic circles. The most influential women aren't afraid to place themselves in key environments. Polo matches, art auctions, gala events, wherever the money is, they are. The next time you think, I'm not good at networking, ask yourself, is the problem that I don't like it, or am I just scared to play a game I haven't mastered yet? Because, darling, while you're worried about looking too eager, wealthy women are focused on what really matters: growth. Habit number 8, habit stacking. Because if you're not doing two things at once, you're losing money. Have you ever noticed how the most successful women seem to have 48 hours in a day while you can barely reply to all your WhatsApp messages? They work out, run businesses, do skincare, close deals, and still have time for a glamorous brunch. But before you assume it's magic or that they have an army of personal assistants, which honestly many do, let me tell you the real secret: habit stacking. About 40% of people's daily actions are automatic habits. Most of what you do throughout the day doesn't require much mental effort. But while some women spend this time scrolling Instagram and wishing they were rich, the top 1% use these moments to build wealth and status. Wealthy women don't do just one thing at a time. They stack strategic habits to maximize results. Do you think Beyoncé only works out when she's at the gym? No, darling. She rehearses choreography, memorizes lyrics, and plans tours while training. Do you think Anna Wintour eats breakfast just to eat? She's already discussing fashion trends and securing collaborations before her first sip of espresso. Let's fix this. Turn ordinary moments into million-dollar opportunities. Brushing your teeth? Listen to an investment podcast, doing your makeup, take a business call, going to the gym, consume strategic content. Stack habits that complement each other. Rich women know that one habit reinforces another. If you're already spending time on something, why not add another layer of value to it? Make money work while you work, automated investments, emails sent. While you sleep, passive monetization strategies. Wealth is built when you learn to do more with less effort. The next time you catch yourself wasting precious minutes, ask, how can I turn this time into something profitable? Because while some women do skincare just for skincare, rich women do skincare while closing deals. And that's why they glow inside and out. Now you know the habits of rich women, but here's something no one told you. What's the point of acting like a 1% woman if your money still behaves like the middle class? Waking up early, managing your time, saying no, networking, it's all great. But if your credit card is still working against you, darling, we have a problem. Rich women don't live in fear of their credit cards. They're not out there financing basic purchases and suffering from interest rates. The secret isn't avoiding credit cards. It's using them the right way. Most people were never taught how to turn credit into a wealth-building tool. And guess what? The banks love that ignorance. You already understand the mindset of millionaires. The next step is learning how to make your money work for you, starting with your credit card. There's a method to transform something that usually loses you money into something that makes you money. And that's exactly what I talk about in my video. Credit card, a mandatory class for the middle class. How to make money with your credit card. If you want to learn how rich women use the financial system to their advantage, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you want to be rich, and check the pinned comment. You'll find links to products that only the wealthy use. Comment below. Wealth is built with strategy if you enjoyed the video. Let's see who's really committed to changing their life.